Hey YouTube! This guitar is not a guitar for sale or one that I've done up. This is mine. So this is. You get a good look at the flame top on this. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is a 1982 Aria Pro II Urchin Deluxe in sort of green, bluey veneer top, flame top. You'd maybe call it. Yeah, even on the back. Got the flame. I'm actually missing the trim cover for this one, but I'll look up and see if I can find one. And it's got a 3-piece neck, as you can see on the back, but it's also got a sort of nice turquoise burst on that also. Yeah. So this is not a BC Rich in any way, but it kind of looks like one, doesn't it? Really, it's very much. I can see it could be one of the BC Rich shapes, and it'd be one of the best BC Rich shapes if it was one. So 82, well, the BC Rich were kicking about, so it's along those lines. Yeah, so it kind of looks like a bitch, but it's much bigger than a bitch. A bitch is, when you put a bitch on, it's like there's nothing there, you can't even see the guitar, it's tiny. Whereas this is, or my pink one is anyway, this is much more elaborate and hugeness. My pal Wayne actually found this for me and bought it in Leicester and then sent it up to me, because the guy who was selling it on eBay wouldn't post it, understandably, because it doesn't actually fit in a guitar case. Any guitar case, it's far too wide. That distance is extreme. Yeah, so these Matsumoku Aria Pro II, it's got the accurate bolt system written on the back of the plate, serial number 212009, made in Japan. Yep. Got a nice big block on the Made in Japan bridge. I'm pretty sure that's brass saddles, although I've not cleaned them, so they're not particularly shiny. On a sort of stratty type trim. Volume 2 tones. Pickup selector. That's a phase switch for the bridge pickup, because this doesn't have the original bridge pickup. It's got a Gibson T-top, which as soon as I saw it, I was expecting it to be a strange pickup. You see it's got T's on it. I don't know if I'm holding this still enough for you to see that. And that's the proper MMK45 Aria one. It looks like it's basically just a DiMarzio Super Distortion clone. Yeah, what was I saying about that? Yeah, so the reason there's a phase switch, well, there was already a hole there because apparently the previous owner said he used to have an active boost in it, which is all gone. So there was a hole there, and so I had to put a switch in it anyway. And the way these pickups and the original Japanese pickups and American pickups are wired is backwards. It doesn't really make any difference which way round. Obviously, when you listen to one, it sounds the same whether it's backwards or forwards. But when you put the two together, they were out of phase. Even though both of them have got like a, the wire coming off it has got like a centre core and a shielding. So it's not two wires. Well, it's two wires, but you know what I mean. So they're flipped round. So when I got this, the middle position was out of phase. So I just put a switch in to make it out of phase or in phase. Why not? Rather than reverse it. Yeah, so this is it's actually a really nice guitar. I've not played it enough. I've had this for probably about a month now. And I've just got an awful lot of other ones I've been working on, fixing up other people's ones and doing ones to sell. And this one didn't really need any work. I'm not sure about the Gibson pickup. I've got a funny feeling the Gibson pickup, which I think is from 73 or 74, is maybe worth more than what I paid for the guitar. So I might put that on eBay. Sounds good though, let's hear it. So, we got two tones. This is the Gibson T-top. That's them out of phase. I'm getting quite good at that now, I can actually tell. See, I was wrong. No! So that's it, in phase. That's out of phase. Really stiff on this guitar. I don't imagine that's it's probably had something spilt on it 20 years ago. Or maybe I'm going at it with the switch clear, see if I can get it. It's just the thing is it works really silently and quite well, and it's just too stiff. Yeah, so while I'm on this, see the tuning machines on this particular guitar. These gold sort of ones with a sort of, is that called a tulip head? This one's obviously broken and not there. That's a silver one that was already on it. So if anyone's got one of these, I'll pay a lot of money for that, far more than it's worth. If you want to message me, it's got to be one of the this one. So one of the left-handed ones. What do you call it? I've got a Grant Les Paul over there that I put machine heads on it that look very similar. They don't say Aria Pro on them, but the problem with that is though if I steal one from that, it means that it doesn't have 6 gold machine heads. It's got to have a silver one as well. So I might have a look and see what I can do with that. Yeah. So I'm actually enjoying playing this. I've not had enough of a chance playing it. I got a couple of other guitars that came about at the same time. I went a bit mad last month actually, but I've got a couple of you can't quite see. Well, you can sort of see the corner of the stage series. I got 2 of them because I really liked the first one, but it didn't. It's got a trem on it. I really wanted a hardtail, then I found a hardtail one 2 weeks later. I was like, so I bought that as well, and this one popped up. I mean, these things do appear. This is the deluxe model. They're, as far as I'm aware, there doesn't seem to be that much information about them. There's definitely at least 3 models. This is the middle one. The bottom one is, I'd imagine, comes in solid colours. I've seen a white one, and it's just like white. Kind of looks a wee bit like the West Tones you sometimes see me with. Well, it's the same factory, but that's the idea where it's just very simple. It doesn't have the fancy flame top. It won't have the gold tuners on it. And I think it might be called a U100, but I'm not sure. There's also another one which is the top of the range, which is through neck, like you can see the you can see the neck going through, and I think it's got active gubbins in it. It's got piles of switches and stuff in it. So this would be the reasonable one. But I would normally buy the cheap one if I saw one, but I've just never seen one. It's got a very thin neck, very fast. I'm kind of relearning how to play this because I've not been playing this enough at all. It didn't really need any work done to it when I got it, so because of that I've not really done anything to it. It's fine, it needs a new tuner, but the one that's on it works. And see, because it's that tuner, you can't see it. See, if it was one of the top ones, that would be unbearable, but not even aware it's there. I keep forgetting about it. But the trem on this type of guitar, it's just a Strat trem, nothing fancy, but it doesn't go out of tune. It's great. It's so much nicer having like a nice tremolo. It does make a difference having a more expensive. I'm sure that just the fact that it's thicker and everything's just machined that wee bit better, it just stays in tune better. And there's probably a lot to do with the nut as well. These were all the Matsumoto stuff is total pro quality. Even the cheaper ones, I'm saying like the West Tones, I'm saying the cheaper version of this, it's still the same quality of guitar, so it'll still sound pretty much the same. It just doesn't have the extra fancy bits on it. which I kind of like the extra fancy bits. I don't think that truss rod cover's original either. It might be. It looks like a wee bit of polished aluminium, but I'm not sure about that. And I think the higher up one in the range would have push pull pots for coil splits. I had the choice there of whether I put coil splits or something, because I said there was a hole, I had to put a switch in, so I could have put coil splits in, but because it was already flipped out of phase, I had to fix it anyway. So I've got my phase and out of phase. That's the out of phase one. Yeah, it's thinner sounding. Claim it wasn't going to tune, maybe push it a bit, but in saying that, it's freezing up here and I've just come in and turned the heater on, so this guitar's been sitting here unplayed, so yeah, maybe not that out of tune. Actually, the more I play it, the more I think this pickup does actually sound a bit like the one that's in my Flying V. See, it's got a wee bit of a neck dive issue. So I might be going from not having the super smooth, shiny seatbelt strap and have one that's got a bit of suede in the back or something to stop that happening. You can obviously stand back, you'll see that it's got the leg wedge for when you're proper rocking it up. It should be in this. I don't think it's a particularly heavy metal guitar. It sounds it with that pickup in it. One of those ones that you can show off. I'll use this to show off to people and say, like, but yeah, what you want is 80s Japanese guitars. Look at this, and it really is. You see all these people sell with their, Strats and Les Pauls and stuff, and they're all interested in how the binding goes. Look at this. Look at the shape of it. I'll see if I can get to zoom in on the ridiculous flame. I see you get guitars that have got that flame. I've seen Westfields with that sort of flame, but it's just thin and not very 3D. Like it looks almost like a sticker. Whereas this is pure wedgie. So, Urchin, not for sale. But this is just, if you're looking at buying some of my guitars, which I've got a few for sale just now, ones with thousands of switches in them and all the crazy wiring. If you want to trade things for them, things like this are what I'm after. See, one of these with bits missing, or anything that's as bizarre and mad looking as this. Awesome. Right, so that'll do me for today. I might be on tomorrow, in the middle of doing a wee bit of modding on this guitar, which is I'll only going to show for 2 seconds because it's so, what's the word? It's so exciting. So, thinking this, if you know what that is, then you're cool, man. So I might be building that tonight. I just wanted to do this video so that I had a video on a Friday, since it's Friday. Rock and roll! I'm going to see Alice Cooper on Sunday. It's going to be brilliant. And I think you should go. If you're in Glasgow, just go. It doesn't look expensive. I don't think it's sold out either. Metal!